Ever wonder what you can do with those wood slices from the craft store, or any wood slices someone might make for you with a chainsaw and a spare piece of wood? First thing you're going to do is grab wood slices of varying sizes. I happen to have some of these wooden stakes, so I am going to use this drilled into the back of my wood slices to hold them. I decided, because mine were pretty hefty, to just take a triangular piece of wood to use as a support in the back, and I also just attached that. I was going to leave these wood slices natural, but I didn't really love the look, so I got a can of satin indoor-outdoor spray paint in white, and I decided to paint just the front faces, leaving a bit of the live edge around the outside. Once I did this, I just got some craft paint, and I'm brushing on the face, including the eyes, the mouth, the nose, and the buttons. Next, I went to go ahead and arrange them once the paint was dry, and I also cut some scrap material that I had to use as scarves. And there you have it. With a few Christmas lights in the back, you have some really lovely porch decor that can last you really beyond Christmas and all through the winter season.
Grab a pallet and turn it into something you'll be excited to have on your front porch this winter. I cut the edges with a cordless chainsaw, used a hammer to remove each piece of wood from the center, and then I pulled all the nails. I placed 4 boards together and drew the outline of a snowman. I roughly divided the board into 4 sections and made the bottom a bit bigger, going smaller as I moved my way towards the top. I cut the design out with a jigsaw, being careful to always cut away from myself. I cut an extra piece for the hat and 2 extra pieces for supports on the back. I quickly sanded everything. I secured everything together with a brad nailer and wood glue. I made a whitewash with white exterior paint and water and brushed it onto the snow part of the snowman. I wiped the extra paint off with a clean rag and then repeated the same process for the hat using black acrylic paint watered down. I added the bottom piece of the hat and secured it with wood glue and a brad nailer from both the front and back sides. I set it aside to dry and cut 9 rounds from a wood dowel, sanded the edges, painted them with the same black. Once dry, I attached them using hot glue, and then I cut a triangle shape with some scrap wood, painted it orange using an acrylic paint marker and paintbrush with water. I cut a piece of felt for the scarf, and now I've got a pair of snowmen that will stay alive all season long. I hope this inspired you to create your own long-lasting snowman out of pallets.
I was passing through Walmart and found the perfect start to my latest project, $2.50 for this rubber ball. But first I gotta get is a base. I have this round one and it's gonna be great. You can use a square piece of plywood, but I've got to use glue to hold the first ball to the base. This is construction adhesive. You can use anything you want. I put it to the base and the ball, and then I'm gonna place it on there. And I know what you're thinking. This is not gonna hold it in place. You're right. But the next step is to grab some expanding foam, especially the bright white. That is what we definitely need for this project. Once we get it all glued up, what we got to do is go around the base with the expanding foam. Not too much. We don't want it to expand and push the ball away from the base. But if you know expanding foam, it is sticky, and it's going to be great to hold it down while giving it a firm base. Once it's held down, go up and down the sides and all around, and that's going to stick right to the ball. It's going to look like snow, which is a great start to our project. I also almost forgot, we have to get a black ornament, take the top off, and this is going to be like the vest or the gumdrop that goes up and down on the snowman. So we're going to put that in place while the foam is still sticky. It will stick there, just check on it. Now it's time for the second layer. We're going to grab a smaller ball and put that on top. Once we get the foam on that, it's time to go to a third one. Now I got this one for only $1. We're going to cover Spidey up here real quick, but we're going to finish off doing the second layer. Always put a layer of the expanding foam down between the two because it's so sticky, it's going to hold it in place. Once we get it all foamed up across the front and everything, what we got to forget though is make sure we get some eyes made. We got to make the eyes, mouth, and the nose. I took some little round pegs, painted them black to look like the coal that goes on the face. Go ahead and paint it on the top and the sides, and then what we're going to do is put it in place. Now it's a little tricky to make sure we get the eyes right where we need them. Take your time, but you stick it right in there, and I promise they're not going anywhere. They're going to stay right in place. When you're doing the mouth, start at the very bottom one, put that one in place, and then we'll go up to the cheeks. Start on the left side, then go to the right, and then you're going to fill it in right in between. I took a piece of wood, painted it orange, and sharpened it on the tip, and that's going to hold it right in place. Now it's time for the most important part, and that's that top hat. I cut out this wood round on a little 16th inch piece of plywood, took a planter, glued it in place. Don't worry, the glue's going to stick out a little bit, but we can always clear that off. Once it dries though, we can touch it up with a little more black paint. Now we've got that top hat made, let's go ahead and put it in place. That foam is still sticky, we can just set it right there. Now we got to decorate the hat, put on a scarf, and here it is. We got our little snowman and it's ready to go. Once that foam dries, it is solid to the touch. It's not sticky anymore. I think our snowman turned out really good. And the great thing is, you can put him outside because it's going to be waterproof, especially with that foam. Now with his hat and his scarf, he's ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this project.
I picked up 3 of these bouncy balls from Dollar Tree. I'm going to start by painting these. Your best bet is going to be using a chalk paint and just apply a really thin coat over the ball. I want to make sure I get everything covered, so after that first coat dries, I'm going to flip it over and paint the bottom too. The paint does not have to be perfect. You may see some streaks or some cracking, and that is totally fine because we're going to add something else to these balls. Now I grabbed 2 paint sticks. I'm just going to hot glue these together to make one long one. Now I'm taking each of those painted bouncy balls and I'm going to attach them to the paint sticks. Now to make this really look like a snowman, I am using Snowtex. This is a really cool textured medium. It kind of feels like whipped frosting. So I'm just using a plastic knife to apply this all over those bouncy balls. I want it bumpy in some places, thin in others. I really want these to look like snowballs. With everything dry, I can start decorating. So I've just got some little black stones for buttons, for the eyes, and the mouth. I wanted to create a little carrot for a nose, so I used some orange polymer clay, rolled it into the shape of a carrot, and just baked this for about 10 minutes so it becomes nice and firm. My snowman is also getting a little scarf. I used some wired ribbon so I can shape it how I want. To display this snowman, I am using a big flower pot. You can use a metal bucket or a crate, anything you have that this can stand up in. I'm going to use some heavy stones to help keep it in place. Now I want to add some decorations. I've just got some faux greenery for the bottom. You could also use fake snow. You could even put Christmas lights in here. This is going to sit in a covered area. He's not weatherproof, but it's going to look great for winter. I hope this inspired you to go pick up some Dollar Tree bouncy balls and make your own snowman decor for winter.
Start out by sanding all sides of the different bowls, pot, and saucer for the glue and paint to adhere to. Remember to give them a really good sand in the areas where you will be gluing them together. Then wipe off all the dust. Next, apply a line of E6000 glue to the rim of the bowl and then place the other bowl on top of it, rim to rim. Next, apply a layer of glue to the rim of the round bowl or vase. Turn it upside down and place it on top of the 2 bowls that are glued together. Now put a layer of glue on the rim of the pot and then turn it upside down and glue it into the base of the saucer. Take the snowman body and head outside and spray with a white spray paint that can go on ceramics. To make the nose, get a sharp knife and carve the wine cork into a pointed end like a carrot. Cut some little divots into it so it looks rough like a carrot does. Paint it orange with acrylic paint. Now paint the hat black. I did this with black acrylic paint. Let dry. Now it is time to paint some trim on the hat and also the scarf. I saw that a hot color this holiday season is a beautiful shade of deep green. Paint a thick line of green paint all the way around the base of the snowman head. Then paint a thick line of green paint around the top of the snowman body. This will give the illusion that his scarf is all the way up his neck under his chin. Then paint the tail end of the scarf hanging down. Make sure to paint on some fringe on the end of the scarf. You will need to do several coats to get full coverage. Place the cork on the snowman face and trace around with a pencil so that you will know where the carrot nose will be. Using a stencil with various sizes of round circles, I mapped out the snowman mouth. Paint all of those circles black and let dry. Using the circle stencil again, draw 2 circles above the nose, and these will be the eyes. Next, using the circle stencil, we are going to put some buttons on the body of the snowman. Draw 2 circles with a pencil and then paint fully in black paint. Put the side of the brush with the paint on it next to the edge of where the scarf will be hanging down, and paint a line. It will look like the top piece of the scarf is shadowing the underneath piece of the scarf. Now it is time to add the carrot nose and glue the hat on to the top of the head as well. Now it's time to enjoy your sweet little snowman. Look how cute he turned out. You would never guess that he was made from dishes.
First things first, we need to fluff open our wreath frame. And I like to start by opening up every twist before working in any deco mesh. And the reason for that is when you have the mesh in your hand, it's a lot easier to work it in if all of these twists are already open. I have chosen a white horizontal striped deco mesh. All we're going to do is just lie our mesh flat on our table, and we're going to cut approximately 16 to 18 inch long pieces. These create really nice sharp cuts, that way it reduces fraying. So we're going to cut 1 piece for every twist tie on the work form that we just opened. To work in our deco mesh, now that we have it all cut, we're going to just simply lie it flat on our table or on our cutting mat and roll it towards our hands. So this is known as the ruffle technique, and it's one of my favorite techniques, and I think it's incredibly forgiving. I love this technique because it always looks great. So we're going to just place 1 piece of this mesh inside of each twist tie, and as you can see with them already being open, it's really easy to work it in. And once you become more comfortable with your deco mesh, you're able to just do it in your hands and not worry about perfection and continue working your pieces in. Now for the head of our snowman, we're going to actually make a smaller wreath base, and I'm going to show you how to make it yourself. So we're going to use a pack of pipe cleaners. You can find these on our website as well. And I'm using white so that they match the mesh perfectly. So this is a 14-inch wreath frame, and what we're going to do is we're going to place 1 piece or 1 pipe cleaner on the inner 2 rings of each of the 6 sections. So this is 1 section, this is 2 sections, and so on and so forth. We're placing 1 on the inner rings. By placing it on 2 rings and securing it, it adds a little bit of tension, keeping it from shifting around. So now that I just showed you how to make your own DIY work frame, we can work in our mesh. So we're doing the same exact technique that we just did with the last wreath. The only difference is that we made this one ourselves. So we're placing 1 piece of deco mesh inside of each twist tie, pinch it in the middle, find your twist tie, place it in between, and then secure it. So since these are white pipe cleaners, you're hardly going to notice any of these ends. So now we have both of our deco mesh wreaths complete. We have the body here, and then we have the head on the top right here. We're going to actually just take one of these twist ties, find the metal from the frame, and secure it together. Here we have a little top hat, and I love the style of this one because it's kind of antique. And what we're going to do is just secure the 2 wires right to our metal frame. Now it's time for a scarf, and we're going to be using just raw burlap for it. So I'm going to take this, place it underneath, cut a length of it, and I don't really mind this, kind of fraying and looking worn, because I think that's what the scarf should look like. And then we're going to just tie it in place. Now we have a few of these black buttons. I'm going to apply a little bit of hot glue using a scrap floral stem, and then I'm just going to place them right onto the deco mesh. So now I just have a couple of these orange pipe cleaners, and all we're going to do is just kind of bend them to shape and twist them secure, and now we have a little nose. So I added a little hot glue for our nose, and this is supposed to simulate a carrot, and I think it's doing just that. So just a couple of pipe cleaners and you're able to create a cute little face. Now I just have a black pipe cleaner, and since this is a wire, all we're going to do is just bend it into a funny shape to create our mouth. All we have to do is just take the wire and place it through the deco mesh. And there is our cute face. So now let's hang this up and show you how it turned out. And here is how our snowman wreath turned out, you guys, and I absolutely love it. So you can use any color combo you would like, and think of other characters too. You can, create this as a Santa for Christmas. You can also do this as like a ghost or a bat for Halloween, or an Easter bunny for Easter.
Turn a package of plain white towels into a unique and unexpected holiday hostess gift. You'll need 4 bath towels and 4 hand towels. Start with the bath towels and fold each into thirds lengthwise. Working with 1 towel at a time, roll up in a spiral, laying the next towel over the first before completing the roll. Repeat with the remaining bath towels, then secure with a decorative ribbon. Now do the same with your 4 hand towels, rolling and securing with a ribbon. Turn each roll on its end and stack the hand towel roll over the bath towels. To make a snowman, place a skewer through a styrofoam ball and place on top of your stacks. Finish your snowman towel cake by tucking in utensils for arms and festive kitchen towels. Your gift is ready to give and display.